In this video, I will be discussing the rise in popularity of cosmetic surgery in South Korea. The first thing you may notice when you meet someone for the first time is their physical appearance. Without even noticing, you may unconsciously note whether they're good looking or not. In South Korea, the way that you present yourself and the way that you're perceived by others is a very important part of everyday life. And physical appearance is a big part of this. Not only do the honorifics and body language you use affect the way people interact with you, but your physical appearance based on the Korean societal beauty standard will also affect your interaction. Cosmetic surgery has been on the rise in South Korea in recent years, as according to the Society of Aesthetic Plastic Surgery, South Korea is the country with the highest per capita rate of cosmetic procedures performed. The goal of cosmetic surgery is to alter one's physical appearance through surgical procedures with the intention of enhancing an individual's aesthetic appearance. I believe that there are many socioeconomic factors contributing to the rise in popularity of cosmetic surgery in South Korea. The first reason is the Korean beauty standard. The beauty standard within Korea is very rigid and unrealistic, meaning that there are specific requirements for beauty which are not easily obtainable for most Korean individuals. The second reason is that lookism is very prevalent within the South Korean workplace. Lookism is the discrimination of an individual on the basis of physical appearance, typically towards people who are not considered societally attractive. Lookism has become increasingly prevalent in the workplace as well as in the recruitment process of employment in South Korea, as many Koreans have begun to believe that physical appearance is a requirement in order to acquire success in the workplace. The last reason is the adoration of K-pop idols has influenced the expectations for beauty and behavior for many Koreans, which can influence the way one perceives themselves. Many idols themselves feel the need to acquire cosmetic surgery due to the harsh beauty standard, but because they have such a platform within society, this in turn reinforces the beauty standard as their fans are influenced by them. Through the rest of this presentation, I will demonstrate that it is evident that these factors contribute to the rise in popularity of cosmetic surgery in South Korea. According to Ri et al., Koreans' facial preferences include a small face, wide forehead, smooth malar bones, narrow nose, large eyes, narrow, short, and small chin, wide mouth with thin upper lip, U and V-shaped lower face, oval-shaped mandible, relatively pale and fair complexion, clear skin, and stereoscopic soft tissue. These are a lot of factors to consider when questioning someone's attractiveness, or even your own attractiveness. A quotation from Karen Cho's article, The Destructive Effects of South Korea's Beauty Standards, says, "I desperately wanted to feel beautiful and admired. In South Korea, while having double eyelids may not be the normality, it is certainly the standard. Double eyelids are idolized by many South Korean people since they make people's eyes appear rounder and bigger, a look that is considered beautiful in South Korean culture. I grew up with monolids, and this feature was a major cause behind my low confidence levels." This quotation demonstrates how individuals are feeling insecure due to the beauty standard, subsequently pressuring them to turn to cosmetic surgery. Further, Cho states, "Undergoing the double eyelid surgery procedure was clearly very prevalent to the point where it was almost normalized, and their stories were like a nagging voice that would not leave me alone." In this quotation, Cho makes it evident that double eyelids are the standard according to Korean beauty. However, she also states that most Koreans do not naturally have them. The beauty standard is telling Koreans with monolids that their eyes are not as beautiful in their society, even though they are more common. As the beauty standard is not representative of the majority of the Korean population, it is pressuring individuals to turn to cosmetic surgery in order to conform to society's expectation of beauty. In Sophie Jung's article, Escape the Corset, How South Koreans Are Pushing Back Against Beauty Standards, a young Korean being interviewed said, "If I went out without makeup, I didn't have much confidence. I felt embarrassed that someone would look at me. I hated my face. Even if I would only be out for an hour, I would put on makeup first." This quotation reveals how many young Koreans feel that they are unable to go out into public to run errands without wearing makeup and looking presentable. In Canada or the US, it is not uncommon to see people of all ages in their pajamas or casual clothing when running errands. However, in South Korea, the notion that it is abnormal to leave your house without looking presentable is caused and reinforced by an unrealistic beauty standard. Other individuals may scrutinize or judge the appearance of another individual, as they also have certain societal expectations. As a result, many individuals may turn to cosmetic surgery in order to escape the fear of judgment of others, which is caused by an unrealistic beauty standard. According to Lee et al., in most societies, one's physical attractiveness is correlated to the quality of their social experiences. Thus, in theory, people who are more physically attractive will have better interactions with others and have more opportunities. This notion is enhanced in South Korea as many individuals experience lookism in the workplace, as well as during the hiring process. Lee et al. Also explained that workers whose appearance is socially preferred achieve greater occupational success. Individuals who are more physically attractive are more likely to receive favoritism from supervisors, managers, and recruitment teams simply because they are attractive, while those who are not physically attractive do not get the same benefit. According to Soo-Hyun Kim's article, Lookism in the Korean Business World and the Role of Business Management, a lack of landmass and resources in South Korea has led to very little job variation. As a result, there are many people competing for the same jobs. A quotation from Kim's article from an interview with a freshman at Korea University said, "I have lived in South Korea for my entire life, and I have kept realizing the importance of physical appearance in the job market as I grow up. Our society is very competitive, and thus business organizations always want perfect people who have good looks, have a high grade point average, and have various work experience. To become perfect people and to be chosen, people primarily have to manage and invest in their physical appearance. Appearance is a definite competitive power and a chance to show self-management ability. This, though, already became very common in society." This quotation reveals that many Koreans feel that physical appearance is a qualification for applying to a job in today's day and age. With so many individuals seeking the same jobs with the same qualifications, companies and recruitment teams have turned to physical appearance in order to narrow their decisions. This is also evident as in South Korea, individuals are required to submit a photo of themselves on their resume. It has become normalized that a good physical appearance may give you an edge over competitors when applying to a job. If two individuals have the same qualifications and experience, the one who is better looking is more likely to be chosen for the job. This fact pressures individuals to turn to cosmetic surgery in order to acquire a more societally acceptable physical appearance in order to compete in this job market and to overcome any issues regarding lookism. A quotation from the article Contemporary Koreans' Perceptions of Facial Beauty states, 65% of male and 66% of female respondents felt that it is acceptable for anyone to undergo plastic surgery to improve their chances of getting a job or for marriage. Percentages that have increased gradually since 1994. It shows how normalized it has become to acquire cosmetic surgery in order to compete for jobs in South Korea. In South Korea, idol culture is very popular with the rise in popularity of K-pop. Idols and their fans engage in what is called a parasocial interaction, in which fans are exposed to mediated media of their idol, thus creating a persona of what they think their idol is like. This creates feelings of friendship and intimacy between fans and their idols, without ever having to meet face to face. As such, fans look to their idols as models for behavior, physical appearance, fashion, style, and much more. While singing, dancing, and performing are a large part of being a K-pop idol, another factor that plays a very large role is physical appearance. Almost all K-pop idols fit perfectly into the Korean beauty standard. As idols typically only put out media in which they are well-groomed and presentable, fans create a persona of their idols in which they are perfect and without flaws. This can cause individuals to compare themselves to their idols and want to turn to cosmetic surgery in order to emulate the physical appearance of their idols. In addition to this, it is very harmful that many idols do not disclose whether or not they have had cosmetic surgery. Yoo-Jin Wang stated in the paper, "Behind South Korean cosmetic surgery, it has been heatedly discussed by fans and audiences about which star has or has not had any plastic surgery. This again contributes to the notion that fans create a persona of their idols that is flawless. This can cause feelings of insecurity and unworthiness, as they may question whether or not they may question why they were not born beautiful like their idols, which can cause them to turn to cosmetic surgery in order to compensate. Author Yaran Kim, in his article Idol Republic: The Global Emergence of Girl Industries and the Commercialization of Girl Body, states, these idol groups are systemically cultivated and managed in uniform, affirmative, yet docile styles by professional entertainment agencies. This quotation describes how women in K-pop idol groups are molded into perfectly desirable and marketable. This quotation describes how women in K-pop groups are molded into perfectly desirable and marketable products. Girl groups are designed to portray the ideal Korean woman, in which Kim also describes with the quotation, "The girl idol's voluptuous, mature, and excessive femininity is deliberately revealed in their body composition. Their long hairstyles decorated with ribbons and flowers, and their clothes create a childlike appearance of pretty girls." Girl groups are expected to represent a specific identity, which is hyper-feminine and hypersexual, but at the same time has a childlike presence. The production of girl groups demonstrates to young girls what the ideal Korean woman should look like and behave in order to be successful in Korean society, as well as to be desirable to Korean men. The image and brand that they present is hyper-feminine and hypersexual, which on a physical level would include a pretty face and a petite body. As girl groups have become increasingly popular, the expectation for women has shifted towards the brand of girl groups, which is not naturally obtainable for many Korean women. Many young girls are susceptible to the message that girl groups spread about how the ideal girl should be. This causes them to turn to cosmetic surgery in order to emulate the expectation for women in society that is created by the hyperfemininity and hypersexuality of K-pop girl groups. In conclusion, the rise in popularity of cosmetic surgery in South Korea is contributed to by the unrealistic beauty standard, lookism in the workplace and recruitment process, and the adoration of idols. All three of these factors come back to how one is perceived by others on the basis of physical appearance. In every country, there are different standards of beauty and societal expectations of how individuals should act and should be treated, which stems from extensive history and societal evolution of each respective country. Whether changes need to be made regarding the beauty standard, the prevalence of lookism, or the adoration of idol in South Korea is up for debate. It is human nature for us to consider physical attractiveness when meeting someone new, but is it acceptable for physical attractiveness to affect us to this extent? As Korean society continues to keep the importance of physical attractiveness, the popularity of cosmetic surgery will continue to rise. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and here are my references.